I'm going to watch very closely, especially in the neurons, wacky neurons. That's the level I need to get better at. So watch very carefully. There you go.
Hello, and welcome back. Hopefully you're not sick of me just yet, but it's DigitalDuck again, and this time we're playing Manic Miner on the GPA. I'm once again joined by TinyTim78.
Hello again, folks.
And we're going to be playing the Enhanced category, which means we've got some bonus levels for you that you won't see in other versions of the game. I'm going to kick off with one of those straight away in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
So, like you said, this is Manic Miner. I've already missed a key. It took me less than 3 seconds to make a mistake. It's fine. So this is Manic Miner, the GBA version. So this is a port of the original Spectrum version. It has some new graphics, some new levels, and some very, very, very scary backgrounds in cases.
Yeah.
We're gonna try not to focus on them because I want to sleep tonight.
Yeah, Nightmare Fuel doesn't really cover it.
So Central Cavern is the first cavern in the Spectrum version, but because we're playing GBA Enhanced, we actually got to play Flunky Punky Monkey first, which is a brand new level exclusive to the GBA. But we can also jump here and skip a bit of Central Cavern because the physics are not quite the same in the GBA version compared to the Spectrum version. To do that, I have to explain conveyors, I guess. So conveyor belts are very strange in this game. They don't work how you expect them to. Essentially, rather than pulling you along, conveyors work by forcing you to walk in a certain direction. Unless you are walking in the opposite direction, in which case they do absolutely nothing. In the original Spectrum version, you would have to be moving in that direction already to walk. Okay, I just walked into that Ewok. You have to be walking against the conveyor already to be able to keep walking in that direction. But on the GBA version, as long as you're facing in that direction, you can walk against it. And that means there are a few more skips you can do on the PC version and on the GBA version that you can't on the Spectrum. But there's also a couple of things that you can do on the Spectrum that you can't on the GBA. So we'll see that. Well, we won't see that because it's the GBA version, but I'll point that out in 16th Cavern when we get there. A lot of these levels are fairly crazy and don't make any sense. And that's kind of just how the game was made. We're not entirely sure what substances were Matt Smith was on when he made half of these levels.
Yep, definitely.
And whoever made the GBA version clearly taking those same substances to make these backgrounds.
Yeah, the backgrounds they are something else. These are unique GBA version, and yeah, well, I mean, they're okay, I suppose, if you like that sort of thing.
I mean, they do match the game, I guess. Except when you got like this one, Mummy Daddy.
Yeah.
We've got some giant mummy/zombies in the background, and I don't even want to talk about who that exit gate reminds me of.
Yeah, this one is. I have to say, we were discussing it before we came on, but I actually quite like the level designs of most of these extra levels. I mean, they're okay. They're reasonably in keeping with the original, I think. And some of them. This is one of my favourite levels of all time, by the way, because who doesn't like toilets attacking?
Yeah, and the items, they were originally credit cards in the Spectrum, but they've been changed to toilet roll, which I think actually fits the level theme much better.
Oh, it does, but the background is absolutely horrific.
Yeah, I don't know what the background is even supposed to be. It's just terrifying.
Yes. That definitely counts.
So here we have our first game reference. These are obviously Space Invaders.
I actually like the colour scheme for this. I prefer the colour scheme in the original. The original colour scheme makes the game look a bit Pac-Man-like, whereas this one it's a bit too industrial. For
Yeah,
me.
I guess maybe they're trying to get away from Pac-Man.
Maybe.
So Nightmare Before Last Night, which is probably a phrase you could use to describe most of these levels.
Nightmares for every night afterwards, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the gameplay itself is really simple. You've only got 3 buttons. It's left, right, and jump. So yeah, you can't get confused with this.
Background on that one's very Nightmare Before Christmas, actually.
I think that's the
Yep.
point.
And there's that, which looks very Lord of the Rings kind of background. Hobbit, maybe.
Yeah, the VAT is an interesting one because this is the first one where our route changes from the spectrum, even though there's no conveyors in it, or the conveyor doesn't really make any difference. And that's because you can collect items by just standing on top of them on the GBA version. On the Spectrum version, you actually have to fall into them. So the item collection is a bit more lenient. In here, we come to Miner Willie meets the Kong Beast. So we're going to see the Kong Beast for the first time here. I'm not going to dunk him because that takes too long.
Bananas.
And also, I tend to accidentally die as I do it, even in the other level. When I was practicing, I tried to dunk him, and I missed. And then fell.
The little switches there are really cool. In this version, they change colour when you flick them, which is rather nice.
That was silly. I don't want to do that. The Helium House on the Highlands is... isn't the background just a still from... is it Laputa? The Studio Ghibli film?
It could well be. Yeah, it's interesting. The level itself, this is actually quite a tricky one, actually. Nice.
Then we come to Wacky Amoebatrons. So this level was one of the longest in the game. This and the other, both Amoebatron's levels are just very long because there's only one route, and you have to go all the way to the left, and all the way to the right, and all the way to the left, all the way to the right. And I've just walked straight into that. The other thing is that, again, on the Spectrum version, if you hold right as soon as the level starts, you can walk underneath these. And I think that's true on the PC version as well.
It's the same as this.
It's the same as this. Okay, so in this version, you get basically you'll hit one of the Amoebatrons as it goes down. I don't know why that's different, because as far as I know, there isn't actually any difference in the walking sprites or anything. It's just a bit weird that it's just something different about it. I don't know. The Endorian Forest, obviously a reference to I can't even think of anything funny to say for this.
Yeah. It's the cute fluffy teddy bear level. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
I have to say the background is more Grimm's fairy tales than Star Wars though. But...
Yeah. I don't know. I'd like to see a Star Wars film with that sort of setting. Metropolis Bingo. This is another new level. We've got more toilet roll. Why is there toilet roll in this level? I don't.
This is the one I remember as being really quite nasty. I think.
Yeah, this one's quite a difficult level. It's these conveyor belt sections which are you kind of have to, if you go over the top here and get this one first, and then drop down onto this one. It's probably the easiest way of dealing with it. Attack of the Mutant Telephones. I did not know. Okay, I'm taking quite a lot of lives here, but it's fine.
This background is one of my favourites.
Yeah, this is actually a really cool background. I do like this one.
One of my favourite levels in the game, and also actually when I was younger, one of the hardest levels. When you were first playing this game, first learning this game, Duck, which level did you find the hardest? Which one did you struggle with the most when you're learning it?
With like learning the route or something.
Yeah.
Probably all refinery actually. Just because it's very, very different to the way you play it casually. Like the speedrun route. Because for most of this, I've messed that up, that's fine, I'll take this route. For most of it, like the way you play it casually is the way you speedrun it. Like it's a game that's designed around score attacking, and in every level that isn't a Kong Beast level, score attacking it and speedrunning it is basically the same thing. For the Kong Beast levels, you actually want to flick the switches to knock the Kong Beast off his perch to get some extra points. But other than that, you're just speedrunning to get maximum score, so it's kind of designed around speedrunning in a sense. And when I played it as a kid, I wasn't in the mindset of trying to get a high score or anything like that. I didn't really like this game.
I wonder why.
I missed... Okay. And it's just a case of, like, I was playing through it, I'm just like, yeah, this isn't very exciting. But then once I got into like actually speedrunning it and trying to go for high scores and such, like you realise it's absolutely designed as a score attacking game. Or as a speedrunning game. It just plays much better when you're trying to go quickly.
Just want to point out that's definitely not, that Eugene's other lair is definitely fake. There was no toilets in there.
There's no Eugene.
No
in
Eugene, all refinery.
Yeah, so this level is very different in the GBA version compared to the Spectrum because of this being able to collect items just by walking on them. So I just go there and back and I'm done. It's much, much shorter. And with Skylab Landing Bay, again, the route is going to be different because of this conveyor. When you can walk against the conveyor, it's really easy. You can just do this. And then make our way back. The Skylabs there, they fall in a fixed pattern. In fact, every level in this game is in a fixed pattern. There's no RNG, there's no subpixels or anything like that. It's just what you see is what you get.
This is the Godzilla level.
Yeah. I didn't know Godzilla could fire laser beams, but
Yeah. Godzilla.
I guess so.
I guess so, yeah.
It seems that every sequel they add a new ability for him. It's like Superman. One thing I don't like is this grey jellyfish. With a grey background, it's very difficult to see him. So yeah, this level is quite difficult. You have to time your jumps. So I'm going to stay in the same spot for a couple of seconds before I move on. That's probably the hardest of the new levels, I'd say. Which is nice because it goes straight onto one of the easiest of the original levels, the bank. The bank is this really weird area where it's in the second half of the game, which means it should be a hard level, but for some reason it's uncharacteristically easy. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's one of the easiest levels in the game, and it's level 15 out of 20 in the original.
Yeah.
It's a bit out of place.
23 out of 30 here. So then we move on to the 16th cavern, which is actually the 24th cavern, because we've got bonus levels. I don't know why they didn't bother to change the name.
They should have left it 16th place, but that would have messed things up probably.
I guess I kind of like it still being the 16th cavern, even when it's not.
Extra one, nasty level.
Yeah, just under the bed is the only thing that makes this difficult is this conveyor belt at the bottom, because you have to time your landing on it to not land on it over the barrels.
This is also,
but also you can just jump straight onto here, so it's not necessarily that difficult.
it's also a mention and in joke of the name of the developer, And the items there with the developer's logo as well.
Ah, yeah. This is a this was developed by Jester Interactive, who I think they actually bought the rights to Manic Miner, like outright. So a lot of ports in the mid to late 2000s were made by Jester, including J2ME version, which is one of 2Space's favourites.
Yeah, no, I can't stand the warehouse. The warehouse gave me problems last time I ran this game. And this is one of the harder levels in the game as well. I mean, it's as Duck was mentioning earlier on, back and forth, and the patterns are pretty tight here.
I'll say this is probably my hardest level, like, still. Just because it's... The main issue is that you have, if you want to speedrun it, you have to take a lot of horrible jumps, like, else you go slow. And if I die here, I've got to repeat the whole level again, and the level itself is like a full minute long.
Last extra level.
Yeah, Clockwork Satsuma. The reference is not exactly hidden there.
No. Even I get that one.
But only a single enemy. So again, it's actually a really easy level, apart from that bottom right corner, which is the only one that's actually any challenge. And then on to one of the hardest levels in the game again.
Yep.
Solar power generator.
Solar power.
So this level has a unique gimmick. I don't know why it was originally a sunbeam, but now they've decided to not make it fit the name. And it's this weird laser thing. But in any case, when you're standing in it, or when it hits you, your air saps much faster than usual. So normally you'd want to stay out of it. It doesn't really matter to us too much, because we're going to hopefully beat the level before it becomes a problem.
I have a fantastic Stonehenge and Druids background as well. It's a bit interesting.
And the sun shining through the arch as well. It must be one of the solstices.
Here we go. Final barrier.
Final barrier. The not hardest level. This is a nice, easy level to finish on, and you can see at the top there is Willie's house. And this is where he goes after his long journey, his long working day in the mine.
I love the background for this level.
So we're going to jump into the gate, and that's the end. And I actually
GG.
did a few of those levels really well. Like some of those were golds, which was nice. And yeah, well done. You've completed Manic Miner. It was that easy. I'm sure everyone can easily copy that. It's definitely
It's an easy game. Go ahead and try
really,
it.
really easy game. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for having me, Obscurathon. Check me out on twitch.tv/DigitalDuck. Check out this game. Check out Magic Land Dizzy. Check out TCQ or Triangle Circle Square. They're all great games. And again, thanks for Tiny Tim for helping me with commentary.
Thank you so much for having me along. I hope you enjoyed that, folks. It was great fun. Honoured to be here. Hope you enjoyed seeing these slightly more obscure but interesting games, and we hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.
And yeah, that's the end of the duck block. So you're finally rid of me. Who's next? I've already forgotten. We've got Lucky Boy 527 with Over the Hedge DS next. Over the Hedge DS is actually quite a good game. You should definitely run it and check that out as well. So yeah, thanks for watching. Good luck everyone else.
Here for now.